Jack the Clock. I'm known as, born in Leeds, 101 and a half years ago.
And what sort of childhood was it for you, Jack? Was it a happy one?
Wonderful, wonderful. As long as I had marbles, I could wear my thumbnail out, flicking marbles. We had a lot of things, cigarette cards, and play out, wonderful playing. And then we used to run around with a hoop. I can't see why we did this, but on reflection, you have a hoop and you just run with it. Kiddies don't play these days, so father was a bookbinder, a very, very skilled man. He used to be locked up in a bank to put the records in book form, leather, beautiful bound, gold lettered. It was quite a craftsman.
Where did you go to school?
To Burley Road School. There was a Miss Pepper, a Mr. Salt. Loved the school. And I won an oil painting competition for a comic, which in those days was Bubbles. And I won a golden guinea. I was the biggest idiot at the school that ever was. I hated school. The only thing I could do was draw. So I was presented at the assembly with this gold sovereign. But it was a national winner.
So how old were you when you left altogether?
14. And then started work selling newspapers, delivering newspapers at first. Then at a little printer's shop, tea-boy. And then went into printing proper. 16 for 5 years apprenticeship.
And what company were you working for? Do you remember what the name was?
Gilchrist Brothers. And I did work for 49 3/4 years. And they gave you a gold watch at 50. And I was being phased out, actually. And I said to my boss, do I get the watch then for 49 3? Oh no, he said, that would be starting a precedent. I said, all right, I'll have the watch and no strap. I'll buy the strap for the other 3 months. No, we can't do that. So I never got the gold watch. And I resent that very much. We used to go to all the art galleries, the Louvre and Russia, and reproduce art pictures, yeah. So I was in that man and boy for 49 years plus.
And how old were you when you moved to Oakwood?
About 28, 29, which was then I got married.
What sort of house did you move into in Oakwood?
The one that I've just left now, after 27 years, 3-bedroom semi. Beautiful.
And what was Oakwood like as a community?
Oakwood was in the country. From being a boy, Roundhay Park, Oakwood was in the country. Guiseley, Horsforth was in the country. Temple Newsham was in the country.
Or
It was almost a village settlement, really. Yeah.
Do you remember the clock?
I do. I remember it coming to Oakwood, and I used to go to work on this tram that passed Oakwood clock. Yeah. In all weathers, raining, plenty of room on top. And you'd go out and it was full, of course, and you'd have to go to the front of the tram and absolutely soaking wet all the way to town, along with the driver. And you can't believe that they wouldn't put glass around the driver. He used to be there with his scarf and his gloves and his raincoat. Pouring rain. Yeah, yeah.
But you've also done a painting of the clock, haven't you?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I just thought it's a shame for these things to go, fade out. And then I thought, well, the clock is really a monument to Oakwood. And I must do one of that, particularly as I went to work on the tram that passed it. Yeah.
Shall we see it? Shall we have a look at your picture?
Yes, do. It's a bit gary, a bit overcoloured, but it's more of a cartoon than a picture, really, which I think I'm quite attached to it. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Well, yes, but it, as I say, it's a bit sparkly. More of a cartoon than a proper picture.
But is this your tram?
And that's my tram, open at the front. On a fine day, it was beautiful. And then going down to town, it used to sway like blazes, and you'd think many of the trams run off the lines, going too fast. Yeah.
And then you've got the clock here.
Yes, and then the clock, which is beautiful, but was never meant to be outside. And this is why it's deteriorated. It came from the market, from inside the covered market, and then was brought outside, but was never made for outside. And this is why it's deteriorated.
Now you've shown some people sitting here.
Yeah.
Have you always seen people sitting at the clock?
Always somebody sitting there. Children, boys, girls, and old couples. And on a summer's day, it was beautiful. Flowers and passing people all having a chat. Yeah. And I believe they're now going to make it more pleasant to sit there. Yeah. Yeah. And it really is a lovely spot. Yeah.
And you've also been involved in selling some of these, haven't you?
People used to say I'd like one, and I never really thought much about it. And then Dave Williams latched onto it, and he said, oh, I used to give one as a prize at the snooker club each year for the highest break. And he said, people want this picture. And I said, oh, I never even bothered. So from there, it's grown. So that's what it's all about.
And you're raising some money, aren't you, towards the clock restoration, I think?
Yes, well, this is selling those.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's important?
I think we're losing all the antiquities, if you like. We're losing the past, and we shouldn't lose the past.